Oh, okay. We are back. God, man, it's just a normal day. A normal match is all I'm asking for. Please, my heart can't take this every single week. I just can't do it anymore. I'm sitting here sweating, and not just because of the heat. Uh, Anytime we play a football match, it shouldn't affect me this badly. Let me just get my routine checks done as always. That's paused. Where is my chat? Say hi if you're in chat. I need to pop it up. I'm not gonna complain about it this time. I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna complain about the chat thing. I'm in a good mood. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, man, I don't really know what to say to as a summary for this game. Really, it was just weird. It was just weird, and it just felt like another one of those things where like my mood was already put down. That when the two late goals come in, it just doesn't really affect me. It just doesn't really affect me. Exactly, a win is a win. A win is a win. I'll always take a win, and the 3 points are absolutely massive. Um, I'm going to actually just quickly hit the intro immediately because I don't want to sit here without the music on. So one sec. Lads, lasses, and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from Mono CFC, and welcome to Feeling Blue. Okay, welcome to Feeling Blue. Now, this time I am actually going to be doing something a little bit different. Also, excuse my voice, I have lost it, as you can probably tell. I'm not going to be doing 7 points because I usually do 7 points. Basically, just because I already laid out my 7 points, and then wait, is this good? Is this in the right spot? I feel like it's not in the right spot. It's okay, it's in the right spot. Also, why is Madueke here? Get out of here. But yeah, I'm gonna do this slightly different because I had my 7 points planned out of like what I was gonna say, and then I realised that I didn't include two of our goal scorers into this, and obviously I usually put the goal scorers in the boxes because they do notable things. But yeah, very back and forth game, a very open game, like I kind of predicted. In my preview, I did say that I thought that this game would be a lot more open than the last one was. A lot of the things which I kind of theorized actually went wrong against us, and I did say we needed to be more aggressive and just work as hard as we have been working. And in the first half, we really did not do that, and that's partly why we were so bad. Let's get straight into the points. Really, I can't remember what I was saying at the start of that before I put the intro on. So I'll if I remember, I'll go back to it. I don't. The first player I'm going to be putting in the let's go. Well, I'll go from the goods and then I'll go to the bads because obviously there are some goods and there's actually a lot more goods than there are other things, which is surprising. But yes, the first player I'm going to be putting in here is actually a player that people probably don't expect to get in here, and I think that he had a very good performance, and I think that he was good enough that it warranted me actually pointing it out, because I don't think that his performance, I feel like his performance went a bit under the radar, and that's Thiago Silva. Now, Thiago Silva had a really solid game at the back. Not only was he just blocking pretty much everything and being as good as we know he can be, just so composed at the back, especially in a situation where we were behind and we needed that kind of calmness on the ball and just to not panic and not give it away. Thiago Silva had a really good game. Obviously, he nearly got a goal. It would have been such a sweet goal if that flick on didn't hit the post. And overall, I think that he had a really good game, which is surprising considering something I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit later. But I did think that Thiago Silva was a player that kind of went unnoticed, and I felt like he needed to be mentioned. Another player I am going to quickly just shoehorn in here. I'm not putting him in one of the boxes, but he's another player that I thought had a very good performance and probably went under the radar, and that was Nkunku. I think Nkunku came off of the bench and did really well. Not so much in terms of him actually being like a creative player, like we kind of expect from him, but more so just him being able to hold up the ball and kind of draw fouls and get us out of dangerous situations. I think he did that very well, especially when Jackson was kind of struggling to do that in the earlier parts of the game. Who should we talk about next? Let's move into the medium box. I'm going to talk about a player that was one of the late additions to the box. As I said, I'm doing more than 7 points, and that's Mykhailo Mudryk, and he is the only player that's going to go in here, so I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. Because I feel like, obviously, he has to have good marks because he scored the first goal, but I genuinely thought that he, apart from that goal, did not do a single thing in this game. I genuinely cannot remember a single good thing that Mudryk did in this game other than scoring the goal, and that came so early. It came so early, but I did, and I posted about this on Twitter. I did find it very funny, and obviously opposition fans are going to try and rile people up as much as they can. I do find it very ironic and very funny that the Nottingham Forest fans were shouting "what a waste of money" to a player that literally scored against them. I did find that was really funny. So yeah, I'm going to be putting Mudryk in here. As I said, this is basically because I would put him in good, or I would put him in good for scoring the goal, and I would put him in bad for his overall performance. So it kind of levels out, and I'm going to be putting him in the medium box. Let's go into the first bad, and this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to just put Chelsea in here, and specifically our defending, because there is a criminal problem. There is a criminal problem with the defending in this team. And it's from very specific scenarios, and it's really weird. And as I said, I know this problem is probably going to get fixed when we get our new set piece coach in, Bernardo Cueva. When he comes in, he's got a lot of work to do. But it seems that any time we have a situation where there is a set piece or a ball into the box or whatever, it's just awful. We just cannot deal with it at all, and we just look like we have no idea what to do in those scenarios. And I said, thank God we are getting a set piece coach, because this is a problem that is costing us so many goals. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have conceded the most amount of goals in a season that we ever have, and that is just mind-boggling to me for a team that holds the record for the least amount of goals conceded in a season. It's crazy. Yeah, I think it's now 61, I believe, with the 2 goals we conceded today. We conceded 61 goals, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. As I said, hopefully that gets fixed. I do want to mention as well some of the defending in the game that didn't result to goals was actually just kind of suspect. I do want to quickly point out Gusto for just. I talked about this in my preview. I said the one thing you need to do to Callum Hudson-Odoi is show him around the outside. Do not let him cut inside, and if we had to double up or triple up on him, I was hoping that we would do that. As soon as Gusto comes on, and admittedly, yes, maybe he's cold coming off of the bench, he lets Callum Hudson-Odoi run him ragged and just completely keep cutting inside and getting those opportunities. Obviously, he missed one of those opportunities that was pretty golden. I think one hit the crossbar, if I remember correctly, and then obviously one went into the bottom corner. And I did say in my preview it would be poetic if Hudson-Odoi got a goal, and I kind of expected him to. It's a weird thing with Chelsea. We always get the players that we let go eventually end up scoring against us or performing well against us anyway. And I am a little bit miffed by his celebration. I thought when he put his hands up and he was not going to celebrate against his old club and the club that basically made him into what he is today, but then he decided to mock or to mimic Marcus Rashford, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, that's that tie. That's that tie cut. I do find it very funny though that they ironically cheered Chelsea reject at him after he scored, and then once we scored our 2 goals to win the game, the Chelsea fans in the away end were chanting the same thing, and I found that very, very funny. So yeah. I did just want to briefly mention the defending was a bit suspect on that side. I do want to also mention not just to single out Gusto, I want to mention Cucurella as well. I don't think Cucurella had the greatest game when he was moved out to left back. Obviously, we know that he's been in this new role, in this kind of central mid role, but in the second half we moved away from that into a more standard 4-2-3-1, and he moved out to the left, and I do think that he was just getting way too tight and being way too aggressive, and I kind of gave him credit a few weeks ago, saying that I thought that he had kind of learned to not do that anymore. But he's started doing it again, where he's just overly aggressive and committing himself up the pitch and just and just putting himself out of position and letting there be space in behind. And we always see it where our players will step up and try and be aggressive, and the ball will get played in behind us, and that's where a lot of the danger comes from. When that's happening, we really need our defenders to not step up crazily high and let that keep happening. So yeah, I just think that the defending as a whole was just not good enough today, and we definitely could have conceded more. We probably should have conceded more. But yeah, this is the last thing I'm actually going to be, one of the last things anyway. I do have one more thing I'm going to be putting into this bad box. The rest of the things are actually going to be good, which is a bit surprising considering how poor we played in the first half, but I am, as ever, the optimist, and I do like to be positive on this channel. Let's talk about a player that I think should get some credits for when he came on off of the bench, and that's Raheem Sterling. I think that he had a very good game, not just scoring the goal, obviously, but I think he was genuinely just a bit of fresh air from what we've kind of been seeing on the left-hand side in the last few games. Obviously, Mudryk has been great in patches, but he hasn't been very consistent. Sterling has been great, but has never been consistent. I do think Sterling is a very good bench player because he does have... The one quality that Sterling does have is that ability to be explosive, and against tired legs, that's so much more impactful than against legs that are the same exhaustion level as you are. And Hoodie's mentioned this, and that's part of the reason why I put him in here. I probably would have put him in medium, or I would have probably not have actually bothered putting him in a box, because I forgot to put him in the box. But he was actually tracking back, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But yeah, I think he had a very good performance off the bench, and I'm a person that's not very pro Raheem Sterling. I do think that he's a player that can be sold and replaced in this window. Please get me Williams. I would like Williams, please. Todd Burley, please get your wallet out and get me Nico Williams. But apart from that, I do want to give him credit when I feel like he deserves it and be objective, and today was a day where he does deserve the credit, and obviously getting us back into the game, and that's such an important goal that he scores, and it's from nothing, and it's all his own work, which is another thing. And I have mentioned before that I feel like Pochettino relies on individual brilliance far too much, and this was another one of those games where we got bailed out by some individual brilliance, as we will get onto. But I do want to give him credit, and I'm not going to put him in any of the boxes. I do want to give Poch credit for the substitutions, because I usually kind of rag on him for how poor his substitutions are or how late they were. But today I will give him credit that he made the right substitutions with the right players at the right times, and all of his substitutes that he made, apart from Gusto, were actually really, really good. So give him credit there. He's not going in a box or anything, but just because I've got too many points to talk about. Let's go. We've done a positive thing. I want to end on loads of positives, so I'm going to go back to the bads. It's for the refereeing, because there was some shocking calls in this game. And I know that the PGMOL are under duress from Nottingham Forest, and they've had that statement come out, and they have all this malarkey go around. Oh. That was a bit weird. I hope that didn't pick that up. Something just disconnected from my PC. Hopefully that's not my mic. Hopefully you can still hear me. But yeah, there was some really dubious calls. Obviously their first goal, they didn't give it offside, but I don't think they checked it very well. And on my first viewing of that, when they put the line up to show where the foot of the attacker was, which was Bolly, it went up to Badiashil's arm, and they said it was offside. They said it was onside. You can't defend with your arm, so that shouldn't count. So I'm not really sure why they drew the line there, and to be honest, I think it's dubious at best. I'm not going to complain too much about it, because again, I don't think they were ever going to give any bad VAR calls against Forest because of what's happened in recent times. But the one I will be mad about is the foul on Jackson in the box. It is 100%, 100,000% in anyone's eyes, that is a penalty. The defender has two arms around him and throws him to the floor. How is that not a penalty? If that's in any other part of the pitch, it's a foul and a yellow card. I'm not sure. Like, what the referees are on. There was another one, I think it was on It was on Gusto right at the end of the game. He got slid straight through by one of their players, and just because he gets his shot off doesn't mean it's not a foul. That should be a penalty. Should be a red card for a very dangerous tackle. Should be a red card for I can't remember who was it on Jackson. I think it was Aina, right? I believe it was Aina in the box. That should be a red card too. You can't put two hands around someone and throw him to the floor. And it's like, so what do we have to do to get a call against Forest now? Because this is the thing, is that Forest have been very good in their recent games, and a lot of things a lot of the dubious calls that have been going against them have suddenly disappeared because they've been called out about it. And it's just silly, and it's so inconsistent, and I hate ragging on the referees. I'm so glad that we're getting this semi-automatic offside next season, because I think Jackson is going to get at least 20 goals now from that. But yeah, it's exactly the same thing with the Haaland Cucurella thing. Obviously, we've had that call. Speaking of Cucurella, we've had a lot of issues with him being wrestled to the floor. The Christian Romero foul on him, where he decided to try and take his hair out of his scalp, was another issue that didn't go to us. I don't know. The referees in this league are just absolutely abysmal. The VAR doesn't help them as much as it should do. I'm not going to rag on about that too much, but I do think some of the calls were just fucking terrible. To put it frank, fucking terrible. Let's go on to another player who I think needs to get his plaudits for this game, but it's probably a person that would go under the radar. And I saw a lot of people mentioning his name earlier, Moises Caicedo, because my God, again, every single week now, he has just proven his price tag. Every single week. He was just everywhere, and he made so many blocks, so many important tackles, tracking back all over the pitch, just running. And especially, I want to say, especially once we go back to this 4-2-3-1 in the second half, he is playing as a lone player, as a lone six, rather than having Cucurella next to him, and that makes his job way more difficult, and he has to cover way much more ground. But it didn't even faze him. He was just great again, and obviously he's so good at being that link from defense to attack now as well. And some of the passes that he was making in this game was absolutely delicious. There was one which I believe was to Palmer in the box, which Palmer unfortunately scuffed on the volley. If that went in, that would have been one of the assists of the season. It was beautiful for a pass, and especially in a situation where we were searching for a goal and the only player on the pitch that looked like they could actually make that penetrative pass was Palmer, that Caicedo stepped up in that moment and actually decided to deliver, which was nice. But I do think that he just needs to mention, and I try not to mention him because, again, I have such high standards for him that every single time he puts on a performance like this, it's pretty standard. We're like, oh, cool. Yeah. He does that. Did he get an assist as well? Did he get an assist for Sterling or something? I wasn't aware. But that's, yeah, again, he's adding goal contributions to your game is good as well, so have to put him in here. Let's talk about a player that I think everyone knows is going in here. Can we yeah, he did assist Rouse, I thought so. Let's talk about Cole Palmer, shall we? This month's player of the month, this season's men's player of the season at Chelsea, and young player of the season. He's got so many accolades, I can't even list them off anymore. Just genuinely don't even remember them. There's such a long list of things that he's done this season. I just can't talk about him anymore. There's no more words to say about Cole Palmer other than the fact that he now has the most goal contributions combined, that's goals and assists, of anyone in the league, with 31. And he should have had more in this game. He should have had more. I see him play, and this is one of the things which I am so thankful for Cole Palmer. I actually woke up this morning, and the first thing I did when I woke up this morning, after I got dressed and had a shower and stuff like that, is I tweeted out, "Thank God it's another day that we get to watch Cole Palmer play football," because he's him. He's him. He's Himothy. That's what he is. He is him. And again, he gets another assist. The assist for Mudryk is just peach perfect. It's such a good pass that Mudryk really doesn't have to do much to get his goal. Again, as I said, he could have had more. He could have had a few goals and he scuffed a few efforts, but like, he was the only player, especially in the first half, very, very noticeable in the first half. He was the only player that was doing anything in this game. And I said in my preview that we needed to be direct, we needed to be penetrative and precise with our passing, and Palmer was the only player on our team that decided to do that. He has carried us throughout the entire season, he has carried us in this game, and to be quite honest, I think that if we do manage to secure Europa League this season, or the Conference League, he is the only reason we have. And I hope next season, and I know Mudrik's got the number, but I really hope Cole Palmer gets the number 10 next season. And the thing which I kind of wanted to, I had this thought and I went off it. The thing which I wanted to talk about is the fact that now it feels like we've got that Mesut Ozil, that Martin Ødegaard, that Kevin De Bruyne, that Bruno Fernandes, that type of player. You know, we've been missing it since we lost Fabregas. We've never had a player that's going to play those really, really good, perfectly timed passes. We haven't had it for so long. And we finally got one. And it's just, we thought we were getting it when we bought Ziyech. I remember you guys might not know this because of how long ago it was. I think I did actually highlight this in a more recent video, but way back before my channel blew up. I said that I thought that Ziyech was going to be the linchpin of our team and it was going to be the player that was going to carry us to to glory. So let's I was close, just with another left-footed player that's not shite, and came a few years later. So let's ignore that. I hit and I miss, as they say. One of the things I did hit on, I did want to say, was I tweeted literally as about 30 seconds before Sterling scored, "This ain't over yet, we score late goals." And we do get 2 late goals and win this game. And let's talk about those late goals, shall we? Because I'm not gonna edge you guys any longer. I know that sounds pause. I'm not gonna edge you guys any longer. But the first player that's going in here is going to be Nicholas Jackson. Now, I was very close to putting him in the medium box because I think that he wasn't very good in the first half. I think he was genuinely one of his worst performances ever in the first half. The second half, he was much improved. He was getting on the ball. He was linking up a little bit more. But obviously, I'm putting him in here because he got the goal. And it's not just a goal, it's the goal. It's the goal. And if he doesn't score it, we don't win this game. And he has to go in good for that. And again, I've mentioned this in the past. When you are a striker, and this is my way of thinking, when you are a striker, if you're going to have a bad performance, you have to score in that bad performance to make up for it, and that's what he did, and I can't fault him for that. And if he's going to keep consistently getting goals, and he's actually getting much better with heading now, he hasn't been very good with heading all season, he's actually getting a lot better with his heading. He's now up to 16, I think, in all comps. He does really need to improve in some areas, and I said the first half was, I don't think, again, it's kind of hard for him because he was isolated against 3 centre-backs on his own, so I'm not going to put too much blame to him for being bad, but he was very bad in the first half. And of course, I could not talk about this goal without talking about the man that assisted this goal. And there's an ad that's going to run in a second, I apologise for that. So I'll get this out of the way. I could not talk about the man who assisted this goal. The guy that is so good at football that they gave him 2 first names. It's Reece James. It's Reece fucking James. Our captain, my captain, my captain. He's him. Again, I said this with Palmer, but he is him. James is just him. And the ad is going to play, and it's going to be really sad. It's in 10 seconds the ad is going to play, so I apologise for that. But he is him. He's one of our own. He's our captain. He's got the best chest control in world football. And now the ad's playing. So anyone that's got premium right now, or I don't know if the ads are skippable, so hopefully they are, or if they're just like banner ads, I'm not sure. But I did want to mention, not only, again, he gets the all-important assist, and that's why he's in the box, but he was genuinely really good, very solid defensively too, as we've come to expect from Reece James. We need to pray. Everyone put your prayer emojis in the chat right now. We need to pray that this surgery that he's done on his hamstring is going to keep him fit. If he stays fit for a season, we might be able to get into the top 3 at least, because he is so important. He's the best fullback in the damn league. I don't care how unavailable he is. He's always going to be the best fullback in the whole league. We pray that he stays fit, and we pray that Nkunku stays fit as well, and hopefully we can start getting results like this. And obviously, it's a bloody selection headache. It's a really bad selection headache that Poch has, or whoever the new manager comes, if we get a new manager, that they're going to have with James versus Gusto, and obviously with this new system, maybe Chalobah playing in that role. It is a very big selection headache, but James just pips them all. He just pips them all. And I'm so glad that we get to watch him play now, and I'm surprised he was back as soon as he was. He's been out for 5 months. To come back after 5 months of missing football, not being able to walk properly because of a hamstring problem, having to go through surgery, being out for 5 months, coming back and then within 5 minutes going, I'm him, putting in an absolute peach of a cross. Whilst he's on the run, by the way, this isn't from a standing start. This is on the run cross. Perfect onto the head of Nico Jackson for 3-2. And I do want to mention, I do really like Jackson's celebration, just diving into the crowd. Hell yeah. And it's such a relief. It's such a relief. Not only that we have him, not only do we have him back, but the fact that we have him back, we've got these 3 points, we've actually getting some momentum. My partner is sending me messages and it's vibrating my desk. I apologize for that. And it's just, I'm just happy. I'm not even happy. I'm relieved. I don't know if that's the feeling that you guys have right now. I am so relieved that we didn't waste this opportunity, because it's been a recurring theme of this season that every single time we have the opportunity, when the rivals around us are dropping points, we also drop points, and it's been so frustrating. But today we closed the damn gap to Newcastle. We are on the exact same points. They have a way better goal difference than us, but they obviously have to play United, which could be a bogey team for them. And we actually have the opportunity, if it's mathematically possible. If I actually, hang on, let me check my thing. We are currently on 57 points with 2 games to play. It's mathematically possible for us to get to 63 points. If Tottenham lose both their games and Newcastle lose both their games or draw both their games, we'll go up to 5th. We'll go up to 5th. See, I'm not nervous for Brighton at all. So I just seen someone say I'm nervous for Brighton. Spurs need to lose to Sheffield, but that is such a Spursy thing to do, isn't it? Come on, it's such a Spursy thing to do, to drop out of the top 5 in the last day of the season. It's such a Spursy thing to do, and I wouldn't put it past them for doing it. More likely, obviously, we will probably get 6th, and that's still good for Europa, I think, with certain circumstances. I believe if City win one of the cups, I think. I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, we are currently in a situation where we can get European football next season, and that's so important, not only for the future of the club, but just for obviously attracting players and things like that, but also just for monetary reasons and for brand reasons, and also just because I really miss us having games in midweek. I really do. And I miss having those weird games where we play a team that is much worse than us from a different league, and we batter them 4-0, and then we go home and we actually have something to celebrate. I miss it. I really do. It's been too long since we've had that Jordan kit, by the way. That Jordan kit. I know it's a concept and it's not real, but I'm putting it out into the ether. Please, something like that. And this is the thing which I hate, right? Manufacturers of football kits, other than maybe Puma, I think Puma are pretty good, are shite. They never do anything interesting. It's always plain. And I'm okay with plain football shirts. Like, all you need is the colour of the team, right? That's my. You need the badge on the front. You need the colour of the team. That's fine. But at least make it slightly interesting, and like, don't make it completely horrifically plain. It's literally just, it's, as Comics just said, it's templates. Just templates. It's boring. I love when we have interesting designs, and obviously it's much easier to do that with away kits. Obviously, I love the Chelsea blue kit. I have 3 shirts on my wall behind me. They're all number 10. Surprise, surprise. And I love the home kit, but I've always really liked the away kits. And this is just I'm going on a tangent here, but one of my favourite ever kits that we ever put out was the kit from was the kit from the 2012 season, where it was the black with the blue squares with a Samsung logo. Beautiful. There's no mug cam, right? I've just seen this. There's no mug cam specifically for, and I was going to mention this when I run the poll, and actually I should just run the poll now, but I'm not actually drinking coffee today. It's very hot. I'm actually drinking guava flavored water. Everybody, if you have a glass of water or a drink with you, stay hydrated. It is hot today in England. If you are in England, if you're elsewhere, it's probably hotter because England is not a very hot place. So everybody, my hydro homies out there. Oh, I'm having guava because I am addicted to guava. But yeah, let me run the poll for the True Blue for today. I'm going to be putting in a few options. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a toss-up between two players. And I think we kind of know who's going to win it, but we'll do it anyway. So there we go. We're going to do you, and you, and you. Who should be the fourth player in this thing? Those three are obvious. Who's the fourth player? Who should we put in here? You know what? I don't think I've ever put Thiago Silva in one of these boxes, so I'm going to put him in the first time. There's the poll. Go, go, go. Those are the four options that I've chosen. Oh, my thing is disconnecting again. Hopefully that's not affecting anything. We good? I think we're good. Oh, it's just I'm in a good mood now. I get an anxiety, like this horrific anxiety. I have anxiety disorders anyway, but I get this horrific anxiety when I start up a stream after we lose games because I don't know how to kind of express. I don't like how to express myself without getting really angry and disappointed and sad. It's such a relief being able to come onto my stream with you guys, hang out with you guys after a win, after 3 points, after a comeback, and it's just I feel so good. We've got the Northern Lights are going to be visible again today, which is good. I'm going to go see those outside. Once I take another sip of my guava. I think we've got enough votes to call this poll. Yeah, I think we're pretty set. I'm actually surprised. I will say this. I'm surprised that Palmer didn't get more votes here, because I do think he got awarded the official man of the match, I believe. But we'll end this. It was only going to be one player, really. It was only really going to be one player, and that's Reece James, because he's him. He is him. I'll never be him, but he is him. And I said, maybe he starts the next game. If he starts the next game, I'm going to be sitting there like, oh. I did see people asking me questions about other players. Gallagher, I think it's one of those things where I think he had another one of those games where he played well defensively, but offensively he was just kind of useless today. He kept doing that thing, and he got out of this for a few games in a row, and I thought he was going to keep doing it, and I was like, oh, let's go, but he just keeps getting into this thing where he receives the ball and just passes backwards or sideways all the time. Trev, I think, was very solid. I've seen someone ask me about Trev. I think he was very solid. He actually, the difference between him and Gusto on that right hand flank against Callum Hudson-Odoi was night and day. I think he actually locked him down very well. Nonny, less said about that, the better. I don't think that it's particularly his fault that he was bad. I think he was up against a very, very good fullback, and I did mention in my preview that Ole Einar is a very good fullback one-on-one. But I thought that he didn't have a really good game, and we didn't really play wide enough in our like 3-2-2-3 to kind of warrant him playing and getting on the ball. He just never really got on the ball. He didn't really get those opportunities. He didn't get those opportunities to like stretch his legs and run at Einar every single time. I can remember in my head at least one opportunity, and he went around the outside and got tackled immediately. And yeah, Einar is right-footed, but he can play on both sides. He's been back when he was playing for Torino. He was playing on the left as well, I believe. Obviously he's now playing for Forest, and he's doing the same thing where he can play on both sides, and he's very, very competent. I was going to say the same thing though. If we are going to be playing a right back at left back, we might as well just play Gusto there. Is anyone else? I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I actually want to talk about. Badiashile. I think Badiashile was good. I was surprised that Badiashile got substituted off. I was happy about it because I didn't want Trevor to go off if a centre-back was coming off. But I was really surprised that he did come off when he came off. And obviously we did improve. I don't think, again, I always find it strange when we concede goals to set pieces and it's like a big centre-back scoring the goal. It always frustrates me when I see Benoit Badiashile, who is a massive dude. He is a very big guy. There's a reason we call him Big Ben. He is huge, and the fact that he is so bad in the air is very, very suspect to me. I don't know if he was actually there. I did want to mention Petrovic, because I think Petrovic actually had a really, really good game. Apart from, obviously, he conceded 2 goals. I don't think either of them were really his fault. I don't think there's no way he can save the Callum one. There's no way. There's no way he can save that. The first one, again, is like, it's a free header for the centre-back. He can't really do anything about that. The times when he did have saves, I think he made them. The one thing I did want to mention about Petrovic, though, was the fact that he was claiming high balls really, really well, especially right at the end of in stoppage time. I think that's, to be able to do that and relieve that pressure on your team is so important for a goalkeeper, and he was doing that perfectly well. But yeah, I don't think there's much I really want to... much more I want to talk about here. These are our things. This is our true blue. That was feeling blue. And yeah, I'm going to leave you guys to your evenings. It is getting late now. Obviously there's certain events on and things. If people want to watch that, I will not be watching that because I'm boycotting it. But apart from that, enjoy your evenings, everyone. I will be back. When is our next game? Actually, let me check this because I always forget to check and I am stupid. Our next game is against Brighton on the 15th of May, Wednesday, which is a long time from now, no, 4 days from now. Oh, that's quite soon. I probably will not be able to do a tactical breakdown on this game then, unfortunately. I don't think I'll have the time, but the preview will come out on the Tuesday. And obviously we've got the playoffs to watch as well. I've just seen someone mention that's good, something. I'm hoping that Norwich go through. I don't think they will. I think Leeds will go straight through it and go back up. I'm getting messages from loads of people and it's distracting me. But yeah, so our game against Brighton is obviously a late kickoff on Wednesday. So the preview for that will be out either on the Tuesday night or possibly in the morning. A lot of the time when it's a late kickoff, I like uploading in the morning. So yeah, I will probably have that out either the day before or on that morning. It probably will be the day before, because I did get a few of these uploads recently late, and I do feel bad about that. Things out of my control. I had I had some family come down to see me, and they have not come to this house in 20 years. So I kind of had my my resources put elsewhere, shall we say. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out as ever. Thanks so much for the support on these streams and on the videos lately. I think like my last 3 videos have done so well since I've come back from holiday, and I'm for a person that I was very scared that coming back from holiday my channel's gonna tank. I'm very I'm very glad that it hasn't. But yeah, I'll run the outro here. I'll leave you guys to your evenings. Thanks so much as ever. Goodbye.
But that was just my Feeling Blue match review for this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this match in the comments section below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, or check out some of the other videos on the channel on screen right now. I've been Mono from Mono CFC, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues.